What's up guys, this is Greg from Lexi Productions, and now I got some few requests from everyone out there in the comments. Probably put a screenshot here with some of the comments that I got from the previous shoulder rig. Now I did a very, not really semi-professional video, there was some grain, of this shoulder rig that I did a while back that involved using the Cowboy Studios original shoulder mount piece with a hose holder, you know, the ones that drill onto the side on the wall and you wrap hoses around it. I used that. So I went ahead and I redesigned it completely from scratch. Literally everything you see here was done by scratch besides the weights, because I can't make weights, and the camera cage itself. This has a camera cage now, and this gives me a wider variety of mounting things. So for those who are out there who want to see this video, stick around. Okay guys, here it is. Here's the shoulder rig. This is something completely custom, completely different. This isn't the usual shoulder rig you'd see on YouTube. I hate PVC shoulder rigs. How much I like to say this, PVC doesn't work for shoulder rigs. The heavier your camera gets, it's not gonna work. It's gonna bend and warp, and eventually under all that tension with the weights in the back and the camera front, it's gonna warp down, or it's gonna snap on you in worst case scenario, or a joint will get loose and it'll snap from there. So stay away from PVC. For all of you out there that are really on a tight budget, trust me, this is actually pretty cheap, and it can easily be done. Now, the first thing, this is a hose conduit, not conduit, this is a hose mount that goes on the side of the house. If you see how I angled the camera, you can see how this looks like a hose, right? How you could put the hose and wrap it around here. This is what this is. You can get this at Harbor Freight for a good $5–10 at your local hardware stores, such as maybe, you know, Lowe's, Home Depot, etc. Osh, you know, all that stuff. I'm just naming them off here in California. And then these piping right here. Now, if many of you guys knew, I think if you've been a long subscriber, I had this glass table, and these are supports that would hold the legs together of the glass that I go on top of. So this would kind of come off of a glass table that was used probably from came from I think Walmart or Costco, wherever it came from. But this right here is for putting this, and it links into the back where the weights will go ahead and counterbalance it. So all I have to do is move it forward or back, and then depending on your liking, you go and let go. If you want it to be want it to fly up a bit so you can have a grip and hold it down, that's good. Or you can just move it a bit forward and have it like that. So that's a cool thing. Now these this is very optional. You can use conduit. You can go ahead and use just metal rods, or there's a wide amount of options you can use. This is so simple. I don't know why nobody ever thought of this, and if they've already have and I didn't see it, I'm sorry. But seriously, this is very simple. 2 metal pipes, the hose, you get dual handles. So whenever you have a camera's autofocus, which this one doesn't, I don't know, because I never bought a lens from Sony or an adapter that allowed me to use my lenses. I could go around and just be recording and holding it like this and looking through here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna power on this camera. Oh, it's supposed to be a 125. So overexposed. Bring down ISO 400. There you go. I can take a photo and watch. That's still crazily fast. My camera's in Japanese. Click sync, and again, just to make sure. So here, this is how it looks like when it's on my camera. Now my room is dirty, so I'm gonna only angle it in certain ways. Here I am over here. I can easily pull focus and still keep one hand on the handle. So there it is, I'll focus on there. Above here we have the shotgun mic, and then over here we got the other light that's just filling the background. And then down there we have the LED light. Cool stuff, right? Continue on here. We have the H4n. Also cool stuff. So there's so many different options you have with this shoulder rig. You're able to pull focus. Even yet, if you have the previous Cowboy Studio shoulder rig and you watched a video to modify yours, this thing's still good. I didn't recommend this, but since I tightened it on here, it has a lot of support in it. There's a lot of tension, so this thing isn't bend or wobble anywhere. It hasn't done that to me yet. So have it specifically like this. Don't try to put it across, because then it warps. And I noticed that previously, so I remodify it where it goes diagonal. And then this flash bracket here, we're gonna get to that real quick. So I like this a lot. You can also even put a fall focus. I might try that later, adapt the fall focus here. and just pull focus. Now that would be great. I just thought that up right now. I didn't even think of that. So cool stuff. Now this camera cage here, if you guys remember the Frugal Filmmaker, which even inspired me to get this camera, good camera here. This camera here is just great. I did a review on it. Go check it out on my channel. It should be somewhere below. It's pretty recent stuff. So great stuff here. This camera cage here allows me to adapt so much stuff to it. The first thing is that I can have 2 cold shoe adapters. I was able to have an LED light, shotgun mic, and plug the mic in here, but this one doesn't have mic input, so it kind of defaces the purpose. And the next thing we have is that this is really nice. I just unscrew and I can carry it around with everything still attached onto it. There's nothing still adapted on here, so I like that feature a lot. It helps me with, just in case I don't want to use the shoulder rig anymore, I detach and put it onto a tripod simply without any hassle. Or if even yet, I can just go ahead and grab a quick release plate like this one here and screw it on. In an event where I have to go ahead and I just can't with the shoulder rig anymore, because it does get tiring after a while. Even though when they say it's good for long day shoots, trust me, any shoulder rig is gonna wear out your shoulder because it's only one side, and you just have to set it down and just go ahead and take a quick break and put it on a tripod. So that's what this is for. You detach it, put it onto a tripod, you're set and go. Weighted system. The weights helps a lot. Trust me, I've seen YouTubers out there that build these rigs and they don't put a weight, or the Cowboy Studio one that just puts pressure onto your chest here and it hooks onto your back. That's not a good solution for a lot of video, and it's not really nice. So that's not a really good option to get. The next thing I like about the weighted system is that if ever a camera's too heavy for my arms, I just let the weights do the job and it bounces and pulls back from me, so I can pull it down. And it's not hard for me to just be, if I held it all the way out where I had to hold it on my arms, and my arms would get tired. So that's what a weight system is there for. Now, let's get to the next thing here. The handles. These 2 handles here help out so much. You don't even know how much it helps out. The few things I like about these handles is that I can go ahead at any moment grab a lens cleaner, grab another SD card, a battery, and swap it out. I'll have to detach the camera or stuff like that, or go ahead and just grab batteries in general and swap some stuff out. I could still be recording and just have one hand on the handle, or I can be on the other one and grab my phone and check a text message while keeping stable. That's really good stuff for those out there who like to do a lot of run and gun. Alright, the cons about this. It is kind of heavy. It's all metal, so it's quite obvious that it's going to be really heavy for you out there, for those out there who have a smaller body and don't have a shoulder. This foam padding here was mostly just that plastic stuff that you get from wrapping stuff. I totally forgot what it was. But I wrapped it around here and then added a felt cover over it to cover it up, and it helps out a bit, but still isn't enough. And I really wished I had one that just curved around my shoulder, and it was a foam absorbent. So cool thing about that. So now, last thing we're talking about here is this actually worth building and making? I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Yes, it is. It is. I did people's videos. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I walk around with a camera that had stabilization enabled, this one does it, I'd walk and I get really stable shots. You add a warp stabilizer, it looks like you're using a Steadicam, and I'm not joking with you. You go ahead and get nice steady shots. This is just with a non-stabilized lens, and I'm not pulling focus properly. But you say you go back, you go forward, you go back, forward, back. Cool stuff. Move it around and turn over here. Look out there. Go back to your subject. This thing's really nice. I really do like it quite a bit. Another con is for those who are building this, get a big enough washer that is bigger the diameter of the pipe in here we're screwing into for the weights, so it doesn't do this. See how it kind of warps in? You don't want that to do that because it can mess up a lot of your shots. I've noticed that you want something that will keep it steady and in the same spot. So that's just about it for this video. Thank you for watching. This is literally built off inspiration from the Frugal Filmmaker. This was from a previous video, and then the rest just comes from looking at ideas and stuff from shoulder rigs from companies. So that is all, you guys. This is a really cheap way to get into a nice shoulder rig. Let me give you the prices here right now. $5 to $10, probably $5 to $10 here. So, and then the weights is usually optional, or you can even put a V-mount battery on the back, which will make it, this all alone here, without this part yet, is like a good 30 bucks. That's cheap, especially with dual handle. You don't get dual handle a lot. Next is this, could be optional. You could even screw this directly onto there as well and have it closer to you, which in all cases doesn't really work out. You can put a monitor out head. Separate video once I get the monitor. This came from the Cowboy Studio, probably $5-10 bucks. Can't buy it separately, I'm not sure about that. This was 10 bucks alone. This was 10 bucks. So this will make it a good 60 bucks, I believe. Good 50-60 bucks, and that's really cheap. And also, quick release plate. This is my favorite part here. The quick release plate is actually off the old tripod. If you guys remember that black tripod I had in the beginning of my videos, if you look at my Nikon, why do I have 2 Nikon cameras? One of those tripods came from this head, and now it's a quick release. So it's also a quick release right now. I just detach and loose, and it comes right off. And then when I need it back on, sometimes it'll lock on correctly, sometimes it won't. That's why you're better off just buying your own quick release. And right now it's not doing its thing, but it helps out quite a bit when it comes to just getting it on and off simply without having to deal with unscrewing, which unscrewing really annoys me. So in this case, I feel like I need to unscrew because this thing's not helping and it's making me look bad in the video. So looks like that is all, you guys. This is Greg from Legacy Productions. Not so much of a quick release plate, you might need to replace it, but you know, if you have an old tripod that has a plate and everything and it's broken, use advantage of that plate if it still works well. So that is all. This is Greg from Legacy Productions. Thank you for watching my video, and see you on the next one. My eyes burn.